question about, you're talking about connection to the earth. Now, another thing we hear about a lot these days are the earth changes.
Yeah.
Is something coming?
I think so. I mean, I've, over the 40 years that I've been exploring consciousness, and I realize, by the way, that my fascination with consciousness is because in my own childhood, in my traumas, which I had totally forgotten, it was the lack of consciousness. It was the wounding in the people that I experienced that with that created these veils over their consciousness that wounded me.
Right.
And I needed to understand that so I wouldn't do the same. But, I mean, in my process, we all walk unconsciously at times, right?
Absolutely.
So in the 40 years that I've been exploring this, as I said at the beginning, the word spirituality meant you were a part of a cult. And they got to get you out of there. Holistic meant you were, a granola kid or, whatever. And we have seen, I mean, even the fact that they're selling herbs and organic food in grocery stores, that's a big leap, actually. Spirituality, the young people that come to our center for our programs, and we're just seeing them at such a level that, when I was 18, 19 years old, in my early 20s, I was just beginning to open, and they're just, I mean, they're passionate about doing the inner work.
Yes.
They're passionate about reconnecting with the earth. They have a global consciousness. Yeah, it's pretty exciting. We see so much that we see the changes. People are moving through. I mean, what took me 2 years is taking people 2 months. Because there's an energy on the planet now that's holding that, that's allowing that to happen. One of my teachers said what took her, 10 years was taking us 2 months,
Yes.
before me. And because there's an acceleration. Yeah, there is. I had hoped that there would be enough consciousness on the planet that we wouldn't need to go through the kinds of earth changes that may well happen. I don't know. I really feel something is, there's an intensification that, and we were just talking about it the other day. We did our ritual in the morning in the teepee, and we were talking about, I said, anybody feeling intensifications, particularly in August, like this month? I said, well, what's happening in the stars? I mean, there's something going on here.
Yes.
And everybody's feeling it, and it's like, okay, all we need to do is we need to hold steady. I mean, a lot of what we're doing, those of us who have chosen to be on this path, not because we were so smart, just because it's our life path, is learning how to hold the space for the transformations that need to happen. One of my teachers used to say, and it all needs to dissolve. And of course all of us sat very, oh yes, of course, everything but this.
Yes.
Or me.
Yes.
And I don't exactly know what that means. I just know the kinds of transformations that I've needed to go through, the kinds of ego dissolving, and there's plenty more that I've needed to go through, the kinds of getting real, getting honest, making choices in the way I eat, in the way I purchase things, in being more local, in just my whole life. And that's what the Sevenfold Path is about, the Sevenfold Path of Peace. It's about how do I create peace in all these areas of my life. It's not just body, mind, emotions, or body, mind, spirit. It's community, it's ecology. And beginning, and what's happening is there's a dissolving of this separation.
Yes.
The monoculture. We just address nutrition.
Yes.
It doesn't work.
No.
And we've tried. My husband and I have tried. We've tried as much as anybody else to find the magic bullet, right? Oh, this movement practice will do it, or that, or it's yoga, or it's this, or it's a combination. we are seeing things shifting. We're feeling an acceleration. And at one point, this was just before I turned 60, I thought, okay, is this acceleration happening more because I'm turning 60 and I'm moving into a different time in my life? And I just started asking lots of questions. It's everybody, all ages. It's there, isn't it?
Absolutely.
It's beautiful.
It is.
It's beautiful, but we need to know how to hold the energy around this and not go into fear, because that is it.
Yes.
And this culture is bathed in fear. And money's a big one. And we've, over the last few years, have really had the opportunity to address a lot of the shadow aspects around money that need to be right here. How much does it control me? What will I do for that? How much will I compromise? Right? And I mean, all these things. I mean, life will bring you the opportunities, right?
Yes.
They'll put them right in your face, right?
Yes.
And they'll go, okay, so where does my integrity lie? Here. And that's what's happening. People are being, through relationships, through money issues, through jobs, through death, through illness. I mean, all the money that's spent on cancer, why do we have 10 times more people, almost, having cancer now? What's going on here? And I believe that we do believe here that, and we teach this, that everything that's going on is a reflection of what's going on inside of us.
Yes.
So let's own it. We've created this world the way it is. Let's recreate it. We dreamed it in. Let's redream it. But how do we redream it? Stuck in the old belief systems and the old patterns.
And that's why you're here.
And that's why, I mean, we need to work with practices that take us under the mind. So we enter what many call the gap, that space where everything that you need to know is.
Yes.
Some people can do that through sitting meditation. I need diversity. But you know what? Nature has taught us that where is the most fertile places on this planet? It's rainforests. And they are diverse. They're diverse. That's why when you walk around this land, you'll see we don't have monocultures here. We're creating a process called forest gardening. Well, forest gardening has been created, but we're bringing it in for the last number of years. And Chantre will talk more about that. That's his passion. And what it is about creating communities, right? And in that, you're discovering about yourself. Nature is teaching you. So we do it from this angle, the shamanu. We do it through our gardening. We do it through our food. And I'd like to just talk a little bit about that.
Yes, please.
We've chosen live food. It made sense to me when I heard about this 12 years ago, and I just immediately went into it. I was very healthy at the time. I didn't do it because I was sick, but I could feel that my diet needed to change in order to continue to evolve at that spiritual level. I didn't realize how much I was going to change physically as well, which has been great.
Yes.
Because the amount of energy that you receive from it is wonderful. The tastes are fantastic. I mean, I love live food. I love, we do everything. We do Indian, Greek. I mean, it's not like all about just having salads.
Yes.
We do pizzas. I mean, it's all there. Although I do tend to eat really quite simply, except when we have a live food show.
Initially, you have the
we have all the stuff,
and then you
yeah,
back to the whole food again, don't you?
Yeah, very simple. I love salads and smoothies and things like that, and juices. The thing that is most exciting to me about live food, besides the fact that you feel better, and it is a very youthing diet, and that you have more energy and all of that, is that everything in nature has, I prefer to say, is memory. I mean, a mountain goat needs to remember how to create its hooves, just so that it's perfect to walk in the side of the mountain. Or these plants need to remember to unfurl themselves and to be activated when the rain comes. the sun's at a certain level. So we are memory, our DNA, we're memory. Everything is life. Everything is beingness. Everything has memory. When we cook our foods, we destroy some of the memory. How can we know who we are and why we're here on this earth planet if we're not taking in the foods that carry the memory from the earth and from the elements who are in fact our creators at this physical level? That to me is so exciting.
Beautiful.
It's primal food. It's primal movement. It's primal being in the garden. It's primal climbing the trees to get our cherries. It's primal. There's something so satisfying about that. We've been teaching a lot. We have an apprenticeship program going on right now. It's a 1-month program. And so we've been teaching a lot. And yesterday, Chantre and I, after class, went out and harvested stinging nettle. So we can have it for teas and get the seeds and use them in our foods and sprout them.
Yes.
And I came back just feeling so real. Because our question is, how do we teach and incorporate lifestyle where we're not just sitting and talking or just sitting or moving, you know, like a whole 5 days of primordial movement or 5 days of living from your heart. You know, that's one of the workshops which kind of brings it all together. And exploring that. I know it's valuable. I know people receive much from it, but then they go out into their life. So our question is, how do we do this?
Yes.
We don't have an answer yet, but we know that because the question's there, the answer's there.
That's it.
And because our passion really is lifestyle, based on the Sevenfold Path to Peace, which is completely about our relationship with self, with earth.
Will peace prevail?
Yes, absolutely. How much loss there will be, I don't know. Love is stronger than anything. It is the binding force of the universe. It's what holds it all together. And science is showing this. Wonderful people like Brian Swim, who we use his books. And one of his books, The Universe is a Green Dragon. It's magic.
Isn't it?
It's a magic book. And he's a scientist and cosmologist. And he takes the research of science and he brings it into the poetry of life and shows how it is that love is a binding force of the entire universe.
Beautiful.
And that the universe functions on the law of attraction, which he calls allurement. And here we are trying to fit ourselves into these structures and everything that we do, when really the only thing the universe asks of us is to follow our allurements. The allurements is follow your bliss is another way that Joseph Campbell put it, right? But what does that really mean? When you are following that from the perspective of the Sevenfold Path of Peace. When you're following it from the perspective of global. I am a global citizen here, and everything I do affects everything else. And my only responsibility is to connect with those deep allurements in myself and follow that so the universe can unfold itself through me. And that is my gift. So the shamanu is really my heart's work. And, but it took me 40 years to discover it.
That's a drop in the bucket.
It's a drop in the bucket. I'm just so grateful, you know, to have found it. And that's the invitation here.
Yes.
Is, what is it?